Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning, and welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste Challenge. I have two single malt Scotch whiskies. This is the Benriach, aged 10 years, a special edition called Curiositas, and it's discontinued. It was out for a while, a limited edition product. There are many video reviews for it. Looked like it made a big splash in Europe because half the video reviews are in foreign languages. I can't watch them. I don't know what the people are saying, but there are many English language reviews for it. Don't know when it was introduced, but it's been around 10 years. But it's gone now. It got, when Brown-Forman bought the distillery, they kind of brought it back to 40 because it was 46% alcohol. Then it got dropped to 40 apparently, and it went back to 46. They brought it back to 46, but then it was killed off. Okay, well, this is a 2017 bottle. I know it says on the back. So fine, I got it for $9.99. True story. And that's an amazing price because if you do an internet search, it's running $55 low price, but more like $65, even up to $70. But I wouldn't think you'd have to go above $70. There's a real cork. I think they both have real corks. This is Jura Journey, introduced in 2017. Probably didn't really hit the shelves till 2018, but it's non-age stated. And there's the real corks. And I don't think it says anything about non-chill filtered or natural color. Let's see. It's from Whyte Mackay Company. It's one of their companies. Established 1810, but they did go out of business and aged in ex-bourbon barrels. I'll put that on there. They're both aged in ex-American barrels. They brought this back in 1963. That's what it says, running back. Whyte Mackay. 1963, and it's been continuous since then. A lot of these single malt companies, you'll notice they'll have a period where they went out of business, and then they get revitalized and so forth. So this is one of those that happened to. Glad they brought it back. This one I paid $22 at Total Wine and More. My friend David said that price was too low. He thought it was strange. I said, well, that was the price, $22. And then when I went back sometime later, the price had gone up significantly. So maybe it was just a special offer, but it didn't have a sales tag on it or anything like they'll do over there. I don't know if they mispriced it or it just went up. I don't know the answer. I just glad I took advantage of it. This thing here, $9.99, is beyond belief, but it's the truth. Wonderful product. Now, it's a strange product. Like I say, special edition. It's a Speyside. Benriach is in Speyside, that region of Scotland, and it's peated, though. Most Speysides are bready and not peated. The Jura is 75% unpeated, but they said there is about 25% peated notes to it. And I'll show you on their website. They give a little barrel and it shows the percentage. I'll show you what I mean. So color, amber gold, vanilla, coconut, banana, creamy vanilla, pecan pie, and a touch of cinnamon and fresh pear. And the taste, I won't taste all that. I never can pick up all that. Ex-American bourbon barrels. There's a photo of it and some balls. Guess they're focusing on what's in it, right? And their barrel design showing they're 75% peated, 75% unpeated, so 25% peated. Okay, and then you can see they have a lot more higher grades: 10-year, 12-year-old, 7 wood, 18-year-old, 21 years, and more. So it can become very expensive. I paid $22, but you could really get some of these that would be $200, $300, $400. Obviously, I'm not going to be messing with an island of Jura. So sort of like their own little region. There are a lot of little offshore islands in Scotland, and very rural, isolated, windswept, cold, even in the summer. Usually, there's some very outlying islands that are even more isolated. You got to take a boat to get to them, and maybe a little seaplane or helicopter. So, yeah, that's the story. The Kingdom of Scotland. What's the population? About the same as Louisiana, about 4 million, 4.5 million. I think that's right, and about the size of Louisiana. So, the country of Scotland. Let's see, within the United Kingdom. Remember, the United Kingdom is made up of 4 countries: England, Wales, Scotland, and Northern Ireland. It used to be all Ireland, but that hasn't been the case for 102 years. Sorry. It's actually smaller than Louisiana, only 31,000 square miles. Louisiana is over 50. Population, 5.4 million. Okay, Louisiana's 4.5. Okay, so they got more people. Oh well, I'm not jealous. All right. Why FAC says, why did you to Thauta? Suta. I say Suta. Because I wanted to see what it was like. That's why I went to Ceuta. I was going to go to Benzu, but it was too far to walk. My feet hurt. It really wasn't too far to walk, but it was too far to walk with my feet hurting. Otherwise, I'd have gone. But it's a small village. I mean, I could have taken a bus there, but you know what I mean? I was like, not necessary, but it would have been nice. But I did go to Ceuta. And I didn't go to see everything I wanted to see. Not like I wanted to go on these trails back and see these old guard towers and all, but this time flies, there's only so much you can do. But I did go to the top of the citadel, the pinnacle, the mountain, the central, go up to the fort. They wouldn't let you in the fort because it's an active military installation, even though it was built by the Byzantine Empire, Eastern Roman Empire back over there in the 500s. But of course, it's been upgraded, updated actually. But that's how long it's been there. Something to see. I gotta tell you. And when you go to the top of the mountain, the pinnacle, you could look across the peninsula to Morocco. You can go right up to the border. We can cross the border, but you may have trouble getting back in, and I didn't want to go through all that. So anyway, so I've never been to Morocco, but I've been to I guess the remnant of one of the 2 remnants of Spanish Morocco, which they don't use that term because they don't want to link it to Morocco. But okay, this is not smoky in the nose, and this is clearly the Curiositas. But let's go with the taste. Cheers. So, as expected, you get the bread crust. Really, the bread crust, just like a good white bread brand, whatever one you want, and the crust of it. Peatiness, they're saying 25%. I don't know where. Maybe a little compost pile type of flavor, but it's a very straightforward product. There's sugar sweetness, like with any whiskey. I find every whiskey I've ever tried tastes like sugar water with various, tasting notes up and below and east and west and diagonal on it. You know what I mean? Different. But yeah, very nice. Very nice. Curiositas. It's just smoky. Inky, iodine, sea salt, like type briny, like you'd be by the ocean, like when we used to go to Grand Isle, and that sea air and the smoke. So it's improper, I guess you might call it Speyside, but there's no law. Some people seem to have this impression that there's a law where Highland has to taste this way, Lowland this way, Speyside this way, Isla a certain way, but it's not really. It's just a convention, meaning it's a way that's done. It's a way that it's done, but it's not a law. It's a practice. Whereas, for instance, now the single malt, that's a law. It has to be all barley malt. Okay, so you can't get around that. You can't have any grain whiskey added. Or like bourbon, it has to be at least 51% corn. That's not a tradition. That's a fact. That's a fact in law. Herbie says, Hollywood. Okay, Hollywood. I don't know what that comment means, but yes, I've been maybe in Hollywood or near it. A neighborhood in Los Angeles, right? Okay, Jura, no age statement, and aged in ex-bourbon barrels. I'll put the aged in ex-bourbon barrels. Does that add a bourbon quality to it? It does a little bit. It gives it a little bourbon-like quality. Isn't profound in any way, but it got, it has a little character. So is it a well-made product? Certainly is. Would I recommend it? Without a doubt. There's the daylight. Are you going to find it for $22? Very unlikely. I won't find it for that price now, but I did, and I bought it. So I'm about halfway through the bottle. No, about 2/3 through the bottle. Been enjoying it. Going to enjoy the rest of it. Take a few years to get through it. Benriach, that'll be pure enjoyment. Pure enjoyment. I mean, it's just got everything going for it. So, can't show you a website because there is none for it. It's gone. But it's still lingering on the shelves, as evidenced by the fact I bought it recently off a shelf for an unusual price. $9.99 is beyond belief. I do believe it because I bought it. Some guy said he was telling a bartender where he goes hang out the prices I've been paying, and the bartender claimed I was lying. Well, I'm not lying. Although I can understand that people would think it was a lie because it seems like it's beyond reality, like it couldn't happen. I've seen many movies. Oh, movies, yes. I don't really watch movies, honestly. I don't care about watching movies, but I know a lot of people. My father watches movies all the time. Westerns mainly, which I really don't like those, but he likes them. But anyway, I think by the time his life comes to an end, hopefully not soon, he'll have seen every Western ever made. All right. He loves talking about the actors and actresses. Oh, she did this and he did that, and she died of this and all. And he loves all that backstory. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, I do the same thing with music. Like I listen to all kind of music. Have so many hundreds of record albums. LPs, 8-track CDs, cassettes of different formats, and you like to read about the actors and actors. I mean the musicians and their background and okay, I just fell in love with 70s Kawasaki's. Says FAC. Really? Oh, I remember those days. Okay. I went to music school when I was a little kid, like 4 or 5 years old. I didn't like it. I used to act up. Had no interest in music, but my mother wanted me to go. But the music school was sponsored by a Japanese, was it Kawasaki? But they did music, like musical equipment, or was it Yamaha? It was Yamaha. That's what it was. This was in Metairie, Louisiana, near New Orleans, next to New Orleans, but it was called Yamaha Music School. I said, I thought Yamaha was like a motorcycle company, but it had a music school. I felt bad for the teacher. She's trying, but you're dealing with little kids. They don't know what they're doing. They're just some are going to be really interested in learn. Others, like myself at the time, going to misbehave. Good morning, Ron, says Maxwell. Good morning to you, Maxwell. I wasn't a kid that misbehaved a lot in school. I mean, I did and got in trouble from time to time, but one time the principal gave us a choice. He said, I can whip you with this paddle or I could call your house. Well, that paddle looked scary, so I figured if he calls my house, my parents will be upset and they'll scold me, but I ain't going to get hit with a paddle like that. So we said, call our house. But he never did. He never went. He never did. He just was like an empty threat. Mr. Savoy. Mr. Savoy. I know it. I used to work with his daughter. And she wanted me to be a teacher at one of her schools where she was a principal, but I told her, nah. I retired, but I was offered the job. But he was a nice guy. He was funny, but he had a very thick French accent. Like, you could tell his first language was French, but then he would speak English, of course, to the children and the teachers. Maybe French to some of the teachers, but he was just like, you children, you've got to behave when you go to school. Don't come into school being bad. You're going to get a whipping. He looked like he was from France. He looked like you say, you mean he looked French? Yeah, like he looked like he could be from France. Like he should be playing an accordion and wearing a beret and eating some kind of French cheese and drinking champagne. But or eating andouille sausage, which comes from France, which people around here eat incessantly, including me. All right, but anyway, yes, I remember Mr. Savoy. We always liked him, but he was going to whip us. But anyway, yeah. So the winner, I don't know how you call the winner. I'm the winner because I got it right. But I mean, how you going to miss this? The winner there is no winner. It's your personal preference. Very well made and a fair price. Very well made, a little bit expensive, $65. But like I said, I got it for $9.99, which is amazing. But it's amazing. It is amazing. It's a wonderful product. Is it going to be a challenge? No. Hello, Max Walt. Good morning to you in the Russian Federation. It's not going to be a challenge. I think I already said that. I get mixed up. With Finlagen, which is very peated Isla, it will be a challenge. With Ardbeg 10, it could be a challenge, but I think Ardbeg 10 will win because Ardbeg 10 is indefatigable. Like nobody can beat Ardbeg 10 so far. I got that for $44.99, which is amazing. Go look at the prices now. You say, woof. Okay, but anyway, well, when that Ardbeg 10 is gone, I'm gonna be so sad, but I might have to buy some more. I can't take it. I gotta buy more. All right, y'all take care. Very, very interesting couple of products here. Lovely, lovely products, just wonderful. And I do some products on this channel that are not wonderful, that are, if you want to call them questionable, I wouldn't argue with you. They are so low shelf, but I mean, they're out there. What the heck? I don't take any umbrage with that. It's like, it's made. And people will ask me, like, why are you reviewing that? And I'll say, like, why not? We know what great stuff tastes like. You taste it, it's like, oh, that's fabulous. But it's sometimes the the bottom shelf ones will be more interesting, because they're so non-standard. They're so bizarre in many ways. It's like, really, you made this? It's like you put this on the shelf, like you sold this with a straight face, and that's fun. There's fun in that. Can't take it too seriously, I mean, I do take beer, wine, and liquor seriously, but I say I don't take it too seriously. Some people look at it like it's a religion, it's their religion. It's sad, really, and you cannot. There's certain products you cannot criticize them or even say, well, maybe this product could be. Oh, they get so offended, they just go in. They fly off the handle. They get so angry, and I can't understand it. I say, why would you be so angry over a beer? It's just a beverage, and you're angry, like you're offended. And to me, that's not a healthy outlook in a mental mentally. It's not a healthy outlook. It's like you've lost perspective. When you start treating a liquid, a beverage brand as a religion, you've lost perspective. Something is wrong. We need to really reel it in, get back on track, right? You be like Quint, and you be collecting all these jawbones of sharks because you're going crazy over sharks. But of course, he was the whole point of the movie. Obviously, the whole point of the movie was he was suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder from something that happened in the Second World War in 1945, and he could not get past that, and he was endangering the other people with him. Talking about movies, I'll say I don't like movies, but that was really the point of that movie. The movie was not about a shark biting people on the beach, because sharks do bite people on the beach. That happens in Florida too much. And they get killed. People get killed and maimed, lose arms and legs. Very scary. But they'll come right up to they'll come into the sand where it's 2 feet deep. A huge shark. They can make their way through it, and their teeth are like razor blades. But that's not really something that's that interesting, I guess. It's like it's scary because you don't want to get bit by a shark. People will say it was a horror movie. It wasn't really a horror movie, except in a horrific sense of being mauled by a shark. But if you examine that movie carefully, it's about that, what I just said. This guy, Quint, who was dealing with post-traumatic stress disorder and not dealing with it very well, and endangering other people with this. And then they progress through. And then, of course, it has a happy ending where the 2 guys who he endangered did survive. Like, it's a simple problem, but it's handled wrong, and it becomes a very, very, very serious problem. Could have called the Coast Guard, and they could have come shot the shark, and it'd have been done. But he had this madness, madness. And it's sort of like that movie, Taxi Driver, where he was PTSD, or shell shock, as they used to call it. When I was a child, they called it shell shock. You were like messed up in the head because of Vietnam and all of that. And but he was like that. He had been in the Marines and had seen terrible things, obviously, and had been terribly injured. But then the whole point of that movie was he went on this crusade to save this girl who was a victim of organized crime and child trafficking. And then that kind of worked out like Jaws, where it came out a year later, where he went on a crusade against these people, and then he got this like plaque from the city for saving the girl, and the parents were very appreciative, and that's interesting. All right, well, y'all take care now. Bye bye.